Yo, welcome to another week. That was my fault again on that one. We're on the other streaming service, which is, I like it more, but I got to get better at making sure
we're just still getting used to it.
Yeah.
Because the other one, after it counts down, it just
goes to
us. So we don't have to make it.
But I like these transitions, so there's benefits. T, do you want to lead us off on?
Hello, welcome to the Sooner Smiths live show here at the Voice of College Football Oklahoma Network. We are Chad and Tierney Smith. We are here every Monday at 7. If you like other content, we have Josh. He is live Tuesdays at 7, Thursdays at 7, and Sundays in the morning, afternoon. He also does a live show. And then on Saturdays, you will see us doing post games. Sometimes we're joined by Josh. Sometimes we're not. Just kind of depends on what he's up to at that time. For those of you who are new here, welcome. We hope you can come back. We hope we don't bore you too bad. If you are returning friend like Stacy and Boomer129 and Jonathan, then hello, welcome back. It's good to see you. We don't see you. Good to hear from you and hope that all is well. Then let's see some housekeeping things. So if you have not already, we do have some memberships. If you guys want to help join those, you can join them in the link below, or you can go to our main page and click the join. It's as low as $2.99 a month, and every membership goes towards us and helping keeping the content flowing here. Super chats are always welcome, but we'll try to get to as many comments as we can. But if you really, really, really want your comment to be seen, then you can hit us up with the super chat. That's always nice.
Yep.
And then last but not least, we do have a merchandise shop at vocfb.com/shop. And you can go to the Oklahoma page and find some Oklahoma-inspired things, hats, shirts, tumblers, also some Zeno Zone things. So lots of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And oh, how much difference a week makes. Last year, last week, golly, that's how long away it goes. Some people weren't sure that we'd win another game this year. And now some people are talking about maybe we could run the table. And I think a lot of that extends from the fact we saw us run the football on a defense that, yes, lost Dylan Stewart. We'll get to that. But also was a higher ranked rushing defense than what Ole Miss has. And we have some stats here that I'll bring up in a second. But again, it should be another week where the offensive line can find some success creating run lanes. Troy Blaylock, SEC freshman offensive player of the week, I believe, this week. Freshman, yeah. So good success there. Really, really fun week to kind of watch. There's our Tumblr.
Boomer129, did you have me at Tumblrs? Hello.
And so, sorry, trying to get here and figure out why I can't share this thing. But yeah, it was an interesting week interesting game in terms of seeing some things we wanted to on the offensive side of the ball. Defense is they're insane. They're just unbelievably good. And I think they're good at every level. I think they're so great up front. Sometimes the back end gets exposed so much because of that. Terrible. But obviously there were some misses. Everyone will bring up the Boganowski miss and a couple of the other ones that kind of hurt us as well. But for I always think that in learn. My dad talks about it too. That's definitely our weakness. But I think whenever you're able to just pick certain plays out to say, oh, that was bad, this was bad, it kind of shows how good you are in terms of the entire run of a game.
Right.
That you're able to pick a play or two out.
Right. Like the forest of the trees.
Yeah. I mean, this was pretty close to you.
Sorry. We never know where to place my mic. It's a different place.
No, and to be fair to her, I'm not great at making sure it's
every
perfect.
Week.
It's like sometimes it picks it up really well. Sometimes it doesn't. There you go. All right. That should be better. Hopefully.
Hopefully that's better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't hear myself.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's recap the South Carolina game real quick.
Let's do it.
OU wins 26-7. You go on the road. You win an SEC road game, and fans complaining. I mean, not shocking. It's going to happen. I thought Gabe had some really funny things to say that, your number one takeaway after a win is how all the things we did bad. I think that, I get where they're coming from in terms of, you're always projecting to the toughest game you're going to have, which is probably going to be at Alabama. Mm-hmm. And it's like, do we think this team can beat the Alabama team as they played? They definitely got to get better in some areas. But also, man, like, let's not ignore, you start off with the run game that he talked, like you hear a lot of the guys talk about post game, is they really found something that worked. Mm-hmm. And although Dylan Stewart, who might be the best player in college football, is going to be back even next year because he's a true sophomore, although we only played like 6-7 snaps, on the couple that on the first two plays of the game that were passes, Simmons did well. Now, granted, it's 2 snaps. I'm not sitting there acting like he's going to shut him down. But, Dylan Stewart's fresh. It's the first couple snaps of the game. It's usually when you're most hyped up. Mm-hmm. And Simmons, man, he stopped him on stone cold on a couple of those snaps.
Right.
And so I thought he was going to do well. I hate to see any guy get injured, especially when they're that talented.
Did they ever say what it was?
I don't know. No, I don't know if they officially said. At least I didn't see it. I know Canick came back on a crack block and hit. Full right into his hip bone.
Right. It seemed like, I don't know. They kept putting him on the the bike, so I figured it was something lower body, but I never was hearing exactly what it was. Mm-hmm. I just remember seeing he was collapsed on the ground, and Simmons was over him, hey, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Genuinely concerned, which I do like the sportsmanship.
Right.
I do.
Yeah. But so you don't need to
I think the play was over when he did that.
Right.
He was calling to their sideline. So that I'll give it away. But I know we talked about we want them to be ferocious up there.
Yeah.
And if you're hey dude, are you okay?
Yeah.
It's not super ferocious. But if it's after the play, then I love it because I am a sportsman person. I don't like literally kicking people when they're down, if you will. Hip injury. It was a re-injury. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, yeah, that was definitely it definitely helped us.
Oh, well, I mean, it was
for sure. But do I think it's the difference in a win and a loss? No.
Well, do I think it's a difference in that you're 100% right. We were going to win that game anyway. Right. Either way, I think it was South Carolina's offensive line. They were out. I think 3-4 starters. I know 3. I'm not sure if that fourth guy played. I'm going to assume he didn't. So 4 starters. We know exactly what that's like from last year. So I'm not going to act like it was some full strength South Carolina team. But it was a team that had just put up 300 yards of passing offense on Missouri the week before. They had a 20 to 13 game or 20 to 17 game the week before that against LSU. LSU gets a late field goal, makes it 20 to 10. It's a team that had competed well with other high caliber teams and an offense that had moved the ball as well. And Oklahoma's defense just shut them down. Right. They lead the nation now in tackles for loss. They lead them in sacks. And it's funny because the first, I need to go back and look at the statistics, but the first few games, the lack of sacks was a concerning thing. People were like, yeah, we get pressure, but why aren't we getting sacks? I think Northern Illinois, we had 1 sack. And then I think Michigan, we had 4 or 5.
Might how the tables turn.
Yeah. And then, golly, Auburn got here, and it was just the floodgates opened. And you have another game with a guy that is extremely athletic and dynamic, like Lenore Sellers. We'll get to the guy we're going to face this week, which is a whole different type of athleticism, I think. Also just as scary in a different way. But it's a defense that did really well against an offense that has weapons at receiver. We've talked about this before. Now, obviously, they don't have a Cam Coleman on South Carolina's team. One thing I think where Oklahoma does struggle is, as good as Eli Bowen is, and I think he's a good tackler for his size, especially in open field, his size can become a detriment to him when he plays big body receivers. Nick Harbor is the epitome of that. 6'4", 235, and is quite literally an Olympic sprinter. I don't know why you got no more attempts on it. That first early down, they just throw it up to him, and he's just a bigger guy than Eli, so he just catches it, and then he has another one around him, and he's starting to literally kind of make a mark on the game early, and they don't go back to him.
Right.
And so for me, I'm
might have been just the amount of pressure we were getting to where,
right,
and that there wasn't the opportunity to get it there, mm-hmm. or to really see if he was open type thing.
Yep.
But no, if you saw my tweet, I very pettily, I'm gonna make it that a word. It's not a word, but I said OU 26, South Carolina 0.
Yeah.
SEC officiating 7, because if it wasn't for some,
that's no lie,
insane calls, they don't score 7. Maybe score a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
I'll maybe give them a field goal, but considering what they did the first half and they went for it instead of a field goal, I'm going to go with no. But never mind. It's neither here nor there. That was just a weird turn of events, if you will. The whole, he's short of the first down to gain. And then you watch it back and his left toe is on the line again, but the ball's in his right hand, but he's out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how you determine all of a sudden. And maybe they had some sneaky angle of camera that they didn't show the fans. But from what they showed us, I don't know how you overturn that at all. Then you go on to have, I mean, 2 PIs, which I'm not even against those. Like, that's not what I'm complaining about at all. And then on their 4th down attempt, it's 1, you have false start. So it should have immediately backed them up.
Mm-hmm.
Again, who's to say they get it? I don't know. Right. But then you don't call the false starts, and there's 2 holdings on R. Mason Thomas and Kip Lewis right in front of the referee, because it's right in front of Sellers.
R. Mason,
no call.
What was it against Texas too? That
R. Mason has to get held to like be stopped.
Yeah. And
I've had fans from other teams like jokingly say, because I guess I talk about so much R. Mason Thomas, how much he gets held. They're like, well, how else are we supposed to control that monster? And it's like, I get it, but like it's still a penalty. Like, it still needs to be called.
Yeah.
And so they end up scoring on that, which, we let the guy get open at the second level. But regardless, it was just a weird.
Yeah.
And what happened? They didn't get that close again. So,
no. Well, and I think you look at the total, like the averages between the 2 offenses. You had both teams had 12 drives. The time of possession 2 minutes and 11 seconds for South Carolina. Average time of possession was 2 minutes and 50 for us. We had 4 scoring drives. They had 8. OU remains perfect in the red zone, 23 of 23 on the year, and they have an absolute weapon at kicker, at field goal kicker. He is, it's insane. How important. Like, when he made that field goal, it really felt like, all right, the pressure was almost alleviated. No, I shouldn't say alleviated, but it really felt like that was a dagger.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like even if they score a touchdown here, our offense gets points at all. It's hard for them to move the ball. It was hard for them to move the ball anyways, outside that first drive, really, in which they were stopped on a turnover on downs. But it's going to be hard for any team. And when we talked about it post-game, for a team to score 21 offensive points and to not have a 3 block in the back punt return on us in a game to get over the 20-point margin, it's going to be difficult for any team to do that, including the team we're about to face this week, because we're so good at making you one-dimensional.
Give you in the ball.
Yeah, and our defense is so good at sign stealing. No, I'm just kidding. We see some comments. We saw those two. But no, I really think it was another week where they continue to do things consistently that. I mean, if they're not the best defense in the country, I don't know a sane person that would say they're not top 3, top 5 at worst. And it continues to be a group that is breaking sort of all expectation, even I think for the most optimistic Sooner fan to begin the year. A little bit of stats here. I think there were some comparison stats that I thought were interesting. Both teams had the same number of tackles, both at 66. Both teams had the same number of total plays, both at 67.
Which is odds?
Yeah, I don't know. That's maybe that's not even to me. It just seems so weird to be the same, but also one off of each other. I don't know. Total yards 319 for OU, 224 for South Carolina. Rushing attempts 34 at South Carolina. For South Carolina, they averaged 1.6 a carry for let's see, what is that? 116 yards. I think that's crazy. And then, is that right? No.
Net rushing yards is
net rush. I'm looking at the wrong thing. 34 yards. My bad.
Yeah, I was like,
54 yards. My bad. So 34 attempts. I got those mixed up. Yards gained total. Okay, then backed up. 40 rushing attempts for OU for 171 yards, averaging 4.3.
We had more yards and penalties than they had rushing.
That's wild. That's wild. And they certainly could have gotten more penalty yards. That's for dang sure. Completion percentage, we were 19 to 27 for 70 yards. Mateer was, I think, for John Mateer, and it's something
70%.
70%. Yeah. Average completion was 7.8 yards. The John Mateer stuff, I think that he is certainly getting better week by week. I think if he was honest with you and didn't, I love that he takes it on the chin when he doesn't have the great gaudy numbers that we all want him to have, and he says, I need to improve. I still think that there is some trust that he is lacking with the deep throw on his thumb. And I think where it's kind of a snowballing effect, because that puts a lot of stress on the thumb area, and he says that it doesn't hurt him, but I'm just assuming that he's not 100% even still. And also, if you're not 100% throughout practice, you can't really work those throws. So it's hard to just wait to improve until game day and then try to do that. You saw the deep throw. He tried to do the one-on-one to Giovanni Gibson late. It was a horrible throw. Yeah, terrible.
Sucker without it.
I'm sure of anybody, he was more mad about that than anybody else. And I think the more he gets away from that, and this is going to be 3 weeks since his surgery, So I think the more you can see him kind of separate from that date and the healing, you're going to see him, or it's going to be 3 weeks since it'll be almost 5 weeks total.
Yeah.
Almost 5 weeks by the time
Definitely
he kicks off. Yeah. I think you're going to see a lot of he'll get back to being as accurate as he was with the kind of the authority or the assertiveness throwing the ball instead of just like throwing him hoping. It's really like he's delivering a strike, which is just the camera, which is very very important for a quarterback to do in terms of confident throwing. I think that he and Giovanni are starting to get a rhythm back. Giovanni Gibson's his body frame and the body type he has is so different from any other receiver, where it's really a 50-50. I'm going to throw this to you, go out muscle the guy, and he did a couple times, like on that fourth down or the long third down.
I'm not going to jinx him. Never mind.
What?
Mm-mm.
What?
Mm-mm.
What were you going to say?
I said, has he dropped a pass that's been
no jinx
to him yet?
He hasn't. Now drops happen. Isaiah Satanian, we're looking at you. But also a fantastic game. It's not really, they happen. I only say that because I know those dudes are more upset than even we are as fans.
And here's the thing too, like if it's gonna happen in a game, it's a game that it didn't kill us. But it's like, what are you doing? You're like being a goblin over there. But like for me, it was if it's going to happen, like you drop a pass like right in your hands, right at the sticks for a third down play. At least it happened in a game that really wasn't ever in jeopardy. So we're not talking to you. I'm trying to turn. But when it comes to the rest of our schedule, like that play has to be made. I mean, point blank. Like you can't drop those. You got to make that play. Which I'm not telling him anything he doesn't know.
It looked like a dungeon behind me on the camera. I couldn't handle it anymore.
So now you can see my degrees.
Yeah, there you go.
So we can get to some of you guys' comments real fast. And then I'm going to pull up some of the comments I got because I asked for people's thoughts on the game after. But let's get to some of our comments from people that are here.
First one, Jonathan, is Kendall Dolby transferring or just redshirting this year? So he's definitely going to redshirt. I don't think that's even like hidden news anymore, but no, he's going to redshirt. I think the problem he's running into is he's a senior. He's played 4 games. He's behind Kendall Daniels, and then Reggie Powers has become such a player that they want to have in the game that he's only going to get a certain amount of snaps. They were playing him at corner. Personally, I would have liked to show scouts versatility, that you could play me at more than one position and I can provide value to your team. Also, friend of the show, Kendall Dolby, we interviewed him before the season. So, but I think for him, he is wanting to go somewhere where he's going to be the guy. And here at Oklahoma, even if he were to stay and play, I think the lack of snaps, because he's having to share it with Reggie Powers and Kendall Daniels, is just really taking away what he thinks he can show to the NFL level and those scouts. Now, again, for me personally, even when he goes somewhere else, he's going to have to learn a system. He's going to have to be a new guy there. So is the grass greener, really? Mm-hmm. That's the risk you run, where I think here it's BV knows what the NFL is looking for. Mm-hmm. And I think if he trusts BV, I think BV would want to tell him, hey, look, man, you stay here. I'm going to show scouts will see how versatile you are. And that just opens up more opportunities because, hey, they might not have needed you for a linebacker position. They could use you at a safety or at a corner position.
I mean, for prime example, grass is not always greener. What's happening to him this year as a senior. Yep. So, I personally want him to stay because I want guys with his mentality on our team.
Yeah.
And I understand too. I mean, he's also had, the injury bug. And so there's also that for maybe why you're not getting as many snaps too. But
yes. Yep.
I'm going to be optimistic. I hope that he stays at Oklahoma because we are going to lose some defensive guys next year, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Well, actually, no. We'll lose. Position, no. We'll lose Kendall Daniels. Yes. We'll lose.
We lose Reggie Powers.
No, Reggie Powers is true sophomore.
I'm thinking of the guy from last year.
We lose. Deshaun
we'll lose Kip and Deshaun.
We lost Deshaun McCullough was out. Deshaun McCullough transferred out.
Why did you say Deshaun McCullough?
I thought you said you were thinking of someone last year. He played that position last year.
No, didn't we have another Powers guy?
Oh gosh, what? I don't know. I'm not thinking of the name right now if we did.
But like Kobe McKenzie will be gone. Kip will be gone. I mean, they're linebacker.
Kobe will be gone. Kip will be gone. Yep.
Anyways, but I personally hope that
defensive line you're losing, but
does come back. But that's because I like him and I want guys that have his winning mindset on OU's team.
He's awesome. He's a great interview. He's a great person too.
Oh
so
yeah, Stacy says, let's pull it up. Nope, not that one. Stacy's in the chat a lot. Hit the like button. It becomes a cool football.
Oh yeah, that's neat.
So if you hit the like button, go ahead and try it out. Bucking.
You had me at Tumblr, says Boomer129. It's awesome. We're both kind of getting tongue-tied today. That's funny.
I have pregnancy brain. I don't know what yours is.
Well,
I don't know your excuse.
Well, we're pregnant. That's a we thing, right?
No.
That's what they always say. We're pregnant. So Kendall Daniels is going to be likely somewhere else, maybe not. But it's
Kendall
not
Dolby.
Kendall Dolby. My bad. Likely going to be somewhere else. There it is again. But hope maybe if not, then great. You would love to have him back next year. Maybe he thinks he just needs a year to rehab and get healthy. All right. Lane Kiffin certainly started some stuff today. Do we want to move?
I'm just gonna.
Yeah, no, go to that.
I just asked on Twitter some of the guys, how your comments, how you thought the game went, what you like. Sooner Girl Judy says they played better and looked much better than last week. Agreed. Run game was good and hopefully they continue to improve at O-line. Agreed. Mateer needs more accuracy and hopefully his hand is improving daily. Agreed. Good game versus South Carolina. Perfect. Ron says overall pretty well played game. I don't believe Mateer's hand is completely well yet and they're still protecting him to a degree. The zing is not back and long pass is more of a lob. Let's go get Ole Miss. Fair. Chad. Another Chad. Just formerly known as Gunny, I believe, says the emergence of the running game was amazing to watch. Absolutely. It was fun to see Tori Blaylock have a couple runs that were 18 yards plus and score 2 running touchdowns.
It was awesome.
Fantastic. 2 running touchdowns, X and Tori, I should say. He says KRJ. Says assistant tight end coach in Canucks Army. All 3 phases was effective. Punting was rough.
Yeah, that was.
But we believe that was for strategic reasons because they had a really good punt returner. But at that point, don't give them 20 yards.
Yeah,
a 20-yard punt's pretty tough.
Yeah.
But biggest takeaway, in my opinion, is we are winning routine, quote unquote, SEC games now. Games that we are expected to win, we won, and with little drama.
That's a great point.
That's a good point. I like that for sure. First complete game of the season. I agree. The O-line must maintain intensity and practice with it. Perfect. Secondary needs to be ready because their test is coming. Great. BV's responded well. Someone said Mateer is still a little rusty or surgery has impacted his throwing. He needs to be more consistent in throwing. True. O-line, while improved, needs more work on the run game. Right. They can keep getting better, but my overall positive is they were moving people. And I think Gabe or Teddy, I don't remember who, pointed it out that it's like the first game since Michigan where we had the same people play the whole game.
Yes.
And it's amazing what can happen when you do that because you're a unit.
Yep.
So all the parts are there, so it's going to work better than if you're exchanging parts and moving to positions. Mark said we're 6-1 and should be happy at this point in the season. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to see a running game for a change. Agreed. O-line played much better. Defense gives us a chance to win any game. Looking forward to Ole Miss. And we found out Mateer is an awesome punter in a quarterback uniform.
Yeah, the dude can do everything. And he can pass or punt like the old...
that was such a perfect...
That was.
Little, what is it, pooch punt?
Yeah.
They call it. But then Elijah Thomas is the one who really sealed the deal because without that playing of the ball, obviously it goes into the end zone. Without him. So, that's really what sealed it is everybody did their job. Because I think we tried that. I remember trying it a few years ago. And they didn't catch it. So it went into the end zone. But I remember being like, well, whoever kicked it at the time, I don't remember. They did their job, but the other person didn't.
And what's funny, if anyone listens to that coach's show with Brent Venables on Sundays that comes out, apparently John Mateer is really unconfident in his punting. So he was nervous as heck to do that play, and it just worked out perfectly for him.
What's funny is you see him on the sideline. He was going,
yeah. I don't know.
Maybe I got something.
That was awesome. No, it was great.
Except forget the thumb. I got a big toe. That's weird. I'm so sorry.
I'm trying to pull up some of these defensive ranks just before we get to the Ole Miss game because I just want to show kind of this stop rate stuff and where we rank in terms of other.
Chad's notes are way more organized and they're typed than me. Mine's a tiny on a sheet of paper. It's fine, which is kind of ironic because normally I'm the type A super organized one, but
hey,
is it wrong?
No, it's not wrong at all.
Okay. Should hear about the trip I planned to Disney World in 2019.
It was pretty nice.
Efficient. And our trip I planned to Europe. Efficient.
I would do it, but you like doing that stuff, so I just I'll let you do it.
If it was up to Chad, we'd be day of trying to buy tickets for things or figure out where we're going. So
we'd figure it out. It'd be a fun, interesting trip, I think. interesting. Sorry, I just don't want to knock that over. I'm going to have to zoom in right here.
Zoom,
I just want to show a couple of these defensive stats because they're insane. Add to scene.
That's insane.
I forgot we can do that. That's cool. So Sooners, this is by the great Mike Brooks, by the way. Some of the best OU stats and OU football stats you can find. So if you want some, go follow him. He's at mbrooks02 on Twitter. Sooners defense TD stop rate. Through 7 games, OU's defense has allowed TDs on just 5.9% of opponent drives, a 94.1% stop rate. The all-time best seasons in OU history TD stop rate, 1972, 95.5, 87, 86, both 95. 1985, we were 94.3, and then 2025, this is our 5th best year in football history at OU. We are 94.1 so far.
Right, and if you're an OU fan, you know the 70s and 80s were some good football for us,
there were some good teams. And also, it's one of those things where, the offenses now are so much more advanced in terms of scoring and how much they actually pressure you. So just a higher scoring league. So it's even more impressive when you consider that. High sack rates among football FBS defenses. So sack rate is how many times you get a sack each drop back. Oklahoma leads a whole percentage point, 13.3%. In the entire country. Ohio State is 4th at 10.4, Indiana 3rd at 11.6, and I'm trying to bring some teams here. Tennessee is 10th at 9.6, Missouri at 9.7. So again, just another feather in your cap if you're Oklahoma. Highest pressure rate, Oklahoma leads again at 47%, a full 3 percentage points. And you can kind of tell how impressive this is when you look at how close the numbers below us are. They're all within a point or a half a point of each other. And then you see us just, what's that, 2.6 percentage points above. So highest pressure rate, we're leading again. Oklahoma at 47%, Utah at 44.4%, Missouri 3rd at 43%, and then Miami is 6th at 41.7%. Again, just another representation of how solid they've been offensively. Defensively, yes. Highest pressure, because I know a lot of people say, yeah, Chad, but pressure rate, but they probably blitz a lot. It's Brent Venables. Well, let's do highest pressure rate without blitzing. Oklahoma is 2nd. Utah is 1st at 45.2. Oklahoma, number 2 at 44.2. And I think you heard Teddy say on the Oklahoma breakdown that if David Stone isn't the best defensive tackle in the country, he'll be there soon. And it definitely will be next year.
Right. He's definitely worth every penny we got.
Yes.
Not let him leave.
And that's stat by Cam Miller. At Cam Miller on Twitter. I think that's probably how you say his name.
Meller.
Miller. Yeah.
Anyways,
you'll see it if you're watching the stream. I just want to give him credit for going and digging all this up because it's tough. Doug Brodus, another fantastic follow for Sooner Stats. At his Twitter handle is at SoonerScript. He tweets out, OU pass defense transformation is remarkable. From 121st in giving up chunk plays through the air in 2023 to 40th in 2024, and now the Sooners are 4th nationally. What was once a liability has become a weapon, allowing just 35 passes of 10-plus yards and 9 of 20 yards to 20-plus yards through the air in 7 games. So they just aren't allowing people to get there. Now, that's a combination of what all good defenses have to do. They get a lot of pressure up front. The quarterbacks don't have time to even really let routes develop that far. So there's not going to be a lot of opportunity.
Right. And I think that goes back to things I've heard you say, your dad say, I'm sure I've heard Teddy say it. But what you don't want is your highest tacklers of the game being your safeties and corners.
Yeah.
Like you want them to be low.
Yep.
And I think for most of our games, except for maybe last game, was RSJ, I think.
This last game was RSJ.
I think that was the first time we had somebody on that second level lead in tackles. But then after that, I would think it went back to
Taylor it was only the first couple,
everything like that. But just interesting. And that point will play into my point. I gotta stop hitting it.
No,
I'm telling you, my mic moves every week.
Yeah, and I've just moved it on her again, so that was on me.
But it'll play into a point that I found interesting with Ole Miss's defense from the Georgia game. Anyways,
so. Just one more stat here. What is this? Oh, this is link everything. Never mind. I want to just mention Taylor Wine is now, I think, firmly in the conversation of one of the best players on the defense. Do I think he's the best? No. But are people crazy for saying he's our best player right now? No. And that's what's so wild is when you have a defense as good as they are. I remember in the old Clemson defenses, there was 3 guys where they were all. It was this guy might be the most talented player on their defense, and it was no, this guy is. And then this is the only thing that's weird about this one. I have to spot this for a second and then remove from scene, and then I can go back to just us. But I don't It's weird. But yeah, we have so many guys that are playing well. And I think Peyton Bowen is playing really, really, really well right now. I think he's going to be a big key for us to keep going into next year. I think you're going to see people want to spend money to keep him. He's just solid on the back end. And I really do think that the leadership he's shown, especially with the other guys, like Spears Jennings, or when it's Hardy in the back there, or whomever it is, he does a really good job of just keeping them organized, and I think calm and in the right call, which is huge. Taylor Wine, obviously, we mentioned the safety brought on by Marcus Strong, who, by the way, looks fantastic. He probably would start at different. He would probably be a starter at an SEC school this year if you want to know you.
Tell him that.
No, but so again, that's going to be we're going to see a lot of this money spent on keeping players. And listen, at this point, if Bates has proven enough to me, if he wants to keep a guy, we're going to spend money to keep him because he's proven it over and over again. He's fantastic. So I think that is what the encouraging thing is. You saw a lot of things on just wrapping up kind of South Carolina and moving to Ole Miss, but I think you saw an offense that found a running game at least that is. It looks like it's something that Arbuckle sat down and said, "What kind of refreshed and said, what do we do well?" He spread out people a whole lot.
Also, I mentioned in the post game, it was nice that we actually had backs get a whole series, or like a whole, not even I guess a series, but multiple series. It's like the whole offensive time on the field, because to me, like I always mention, like that's how you get into a flow. I hate mentioning how many times I played sports because it's like I sound like I'm like opening the yearbook every time, but like that's just my reference to it. Is if you were to pull me out every time I missed a shot, or you only let me have 2 shots, pull me out, let me have another shot here, pull me out. Like as a shooter, I'm not going to be able to get in the flow of the rhythm. And then to me, that's what it is like with running as well. You have to get into the flow of the game, the speed of the game. Your eyes have to be there. And so I think you really saw the fruit of that labor because they got multiple carries and they made crap happen, which is fantastic.
There you go.
The fact we had a third or a second and 20, or like even a first and 20, I don't remember if we got a holding, but not the point, but it became like a second and 2 or third and 2. It was like, wow.
Right.
From a run. That was fantastic. But we do have a member comment from Steve that we need to highlight. Members do get priority. He says, once again, watching from the beginning. I never quite make it here on time. Neither do we. It's fine. I appreciate what you guys really do. One of the best dinner podcasts around, Boomer. Thanks.
Thanks, Steve. I really appreciate that, man. I hope that you enjoy it. We try at least to make it entertaining. I hate to share the screen one more time because it does kind of get a little wonky on the back end, but I would do another great Doug Brodus Sooner Script stat here that I want to give credit to. He talks about the remaining defenses we'll face. This is where they rank in national rushing defense. So South Carolina was 75th, Ole Miss 99th, Tennessee 54th, Alabama 84th, Missouri 7th. Good, but they also haven't played. That was Missouri's first away game of the year.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Like
first away game of the year.
No, I think our third game was I think maybe last year we had like a bunch of home games in a row. I was like, I am ready to have an away game and just sit at home in my PJs and watch football all day. Like, I do not want to make this drive and get ready and do the walking. As much as I love it, I was just exhausted.
And then finally LSU 41st. Sorry, I was thinking 7th. I'm making up numbers in my head right now. 41. That's crazy. All right, so anyways. Sooner Script. Thank you, Doug Brodus. Awesome. You rock. That is awesome. Let me go to highlight. All right, we're good. Ole Miss. The 5th time Oklahoma will host a top 10 program in Norman will be this Saturday.
Fun fact.
When we take on the Ole Miss Rebels and Florida's next head coach, Lane Kiffin. Florida's next head coach is a pretty good offensive play caller. He has a lot of good offensive production and schemes. And I'm sure a lot of Oklahoma fans heard Florida's next head coach talk about our defense. Hey, Daddy, we're stirring the pot. And said some things that I think a lot of us had serious qualms with. I think a lot of us were like, what? Hold on.
I feel like you've been waiting to say the word qualms for a while.
Reminds me of that New Girls.
Yeah, he has qualms.
Serious qualms.
He has qualms.
And we got it. I will say I went and listened to the entire press conference. It was only about 13 minutes. He did say some really good things about OU, the coaching staff. He goes, he goes, first off, they're really good because they have a ton of talent and they have really good coaches. He goes, and obviously says what everyone says about Brent. He goes, he's one of the best defensive minds, out there. And I think actually it was a follow-up question by by another reporter that said, can you talk about what they do to kind of, it seems like they know where the ball is going before the play. And I also want to put on Front Street, stealing signs is not the Stallions thing. It's not what he's not like. Everyone tries to steal signs. I guarantee you, my dad was one of them in the 90s for OU. His job when he was coaching there, part of it was can you get a look? Can you get a read on what they're about to run based on the signs that are being called out? That happens. That is common knowledge with every team.
Right.
That's not what the issue was with Stallions. Because I know that people insinuate that he meant that in terms of OU's cheating and trying to get signs. No. Yeah. It is a skill to be able to pick up signs during a game and be able to start, sort of having a good read on what they're about to run. That is what every team does. What Stallions did and what Michigan got in trouble for was he was going to away games, and filming entire games, then going back and cutting up the film. And he wasn't doing it in the games they were actually playing.
Or on film.
Right? And so that's the difference. So I think OU fans, took also, that a little bit of a slight that he didn't mean it as, but yeah.
Also, are you saying that the media will take snippets
from
people that are out of context that change it? No.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
They would never do that.
They would never.
There was that was a interesting
I do
comment,
like the Truce comment though. He says, it's pretty dope being a couple and having a sports podcast together. Thanks.
I'm very lucky.
I like it.
I'm very lucky because I feel like most men would be cool having one. A lot of wives wouldn't, I don't think, be as chill about it. But I'm lucky that T loves sports like I do. I want to play the Lane Kiffin sound because if you haven't heard it, I'm sure you're wondering, like, what the heck are you talking about? Let me make sure I share my sound here. That sounded hick. Here? That sounded hick, too. All right. I'm going to play this. Hopefully you all can hear it.
A film study of signals. I mean, as I just tell you how it is. I think they do a great job of that. So if you study people really well, tendencies, and then you have enough confidence as a coach to go after those, that seems what he does. It seems like, they've got a really good beat on the plays that are coming when they're called, and they do a great job of going and taking those away. When you look at the Auburn game, I told Hugh after the game watching it, you might want to switch the signals. Like, it looks like they have the plays. The middle safety's running down to steal slants, which is very abnormal.
You may have just answered my next question, but do you get with that in mind? Do you have to kind of shake everything up from a signal standpoint this week, or do you do that every week anyway?
No, we're going to keep our same signals.
I guess I was wondering, do you do that every week, or is that something that you have to specifically address because of who you're playing?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And competitively, I can't answer that for you.
So Florida's next head coach, obviously insinuating there that we do some good job, or we do some sign stealing, which again, sign stealing is not always just in and of itself is perfectly legal. Every team does it. Oklahoma does it. Literally every team does it. And again, I think some OU fans took it as he's trying to say we're doing the whole Connor Stallions thing where we are doing it illegally. I don't think he meant it like that. I think he's just saying that, they're very good at picking those things up quickly.
Venables is known for that, honestly. But here's the thing. He does something legal and just does it better than everybody else.
Yeah.
That's just really what it is. And it's not wrong. But I get the insinuation because of the recent scandals. But
I get why people were like, what the
For
heck?
me, too, it was almost... I guess if that was the question that was asked, I get it. But for me, it was almost weird if he had just brought it up on his own. I was like, that kind of seems like, if my offense doesn't do well, this is why. You know what I mean? I don't know. It was just kind of a weird.
Well, he does.
If that was a direct question, then fine. I get it. But
and before that, he does say earlier in the conference, he's like, it's a combination of them being. He goes, there's a lot of things. He goes, it is. He goes, if they're extremely well prepped, that you can tell that they do a lot of film review. They're extremely prepped. He goes, they're also, at the end of the day, when you have really, really talented players that BV has been able to coach up for 4 years, because a lot of these guys, we mentioned it before the season, of our 11 starters on defense, 8 have been here since BV's first recruiting class. And they are all 8 very valuable. They all are key players. It's not like they're 8 and only 3 of them are starters and second. They're all guys.
They're his dudes.
His dudes. And so you have that kind of talent along with that experience. And I do think to a certain extent there is that deal of the scar tissue they built up and the toughness you build off of the seasons they had to endure, those first few, I think really do help you with a mental. And if you have the right kind of guys, they help you build up a certain mental toughness that really just pushes you along.
In our post game, that this defense, when they get scored on, they don't take it as oh crap. They take it as it's offensive. How dare you score on us? How dare we allow that to happen? And they seem to lock down. Or anytime it seems like our defense somebody gets into the red zone, it's like they're like, all right, enough kidding around.
Like, that was cute. See ya.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's what it kind of seems like. And
well, I don't mean to interrupt you right there, but just to finish that Lane Kiffin point, he brings up the fact, he's like, I'm watching the game Saturday against South Carolina. He goes, and obviously, they have a talented guys on their offense, and I look and they're 0 for 10 at one point on third down. He's like, you don't just do that by luck, and they're doing that to every team they play. He goes, so they're extremely talented. And then there was another question, and then that it kind of bled into the prep thing. I think kind of perked up a journal, some reporter asking that, but I don't think he meant it like nefariously on it, in my opinion. I think he just said that they have guys that are good at that, and if you do, that's a benefit to your team.
If you're already a good team with good dudes, and then you also know what you also potentially know what the offense is going to run, like recipe for success. Which
it would make sense then, like because Teddy sometimes talks about he'll want to change the play so late, and when you're like maybe he sees the sign, he's like, well, no, like so I don't know, maybe it is.
Also, somebody made a video for the Harry Potter fans. Stacy will get it. It said like SEC coaches as Harry Potter characters, and they made Lane Kiffin Gilderoy Lockhart, and I can't unsee it anymore because it was just funny how she's like, she's like pretty good looking, like freakishly photogenic, always finds a way to talk about himself.
Yeah.
And it was just really funny. I don't know, because I found it strangely accurate, but
he does look like Gilderoy too.
And he got the golden hair.
Randy, awesome guy, also a coach, but someone that watches often. Said just got on. Have y'all talked about how well Kendall Daniels and Taylor Wine are playing? Yes, we did. We have talked about both of them. They are fantastic. Randy, tell me if you agree, but we made the point earlier that
Taylor Wine was the voice of college football Oklahoma's player of the week too,
yes,
because he had the one. It was just more than stats, but he was the saving tackle for the first touchdown. I mean, he got down, got back up, and saved the play. Among other, he had an interception on the fake punt. He just had some other big plays like that just helped stop the momentum.
Yep.
Kendall Daniels just likes to hit people.
Kendall Daniels, he's built like a predator, and he's playing like, I mean, he's finally got a. Well, and I didn't realize he was dealing. Yeah, I mean, like, I wish I was built like, Jesus goodness, the freaks, like physically. I didn't realize he had like Achilles heel injury bad that he was struggling with. That the bye week and all that really helped him get over. And you see him kind of playing now, and it's like, oh, that's why he's so quick again, and he's getting in the backfield so fast. Knock on wood. But I didn't realize he was dealing with that.
Kendall Daniels hitting hard. Reggie Powers the third. Gracious. Oh my God! By the way, took the soul out of that guy.
SEC refs are so bad that they took the spark out of that hit because they throw a flag right when it happens. Like, what are you doing, dude?
I mean, okay,
maybe I'm wrong.
I'm not so mad at this one because I don't agree that every hard hit is a hit. You know what I mean? Or as a targeting.
Right.
But like, I'm okay with, you can review it as long as you get the call right. And the call was right. They said no targeting because, I mean, he did take the soul out of him.
Yeah.
And if he had lowered his helmet, that is a penalty. But Kendall Daniels had the same thing happen to him on his big hit, and it wasn't targeting.
That's true. Yeah,
and then the one that wasn't even a hard hit was considered targeting on our Mason Thomas. That was just weird. But liking the big hits, and I'm like even more so, like you see the reaction from all the other players.
Boganowski behind him,
the guy. I mean, from the guys on the sideline to the guys like on the field, man, just amazing. And of course, you love hearing the I mean, it was an away game, and you get that hit, and the whole stadium goes, "Oh," because dying. But
all right. Let's just talk real quick about the Ole Miss game for the next 10 minutes or so.
Were those SEC refs during the Michigan game? I think we actually had Big Ten refs.
I think they were Big Ten. Yes,
I don't think we had SEC refs that game. I don't know why I remember that.
They were terrible. Remember, they only maybe you just said it and I was reading it, but they only
hit Powers or Daniels
at the Michigan game, Daniels, or this one, or in this game.
I think they mean the Michigan game.
Ooh.
I kind of like that Kendall Daniels.
Dude, the Michigan game was such, and it was such a big move.
Him and like he was still standing, where like Reggie like took them both out. Or did he?
Well, Kendall to me is just it's the game it was in, national television, game day. It was a big kind of a tone setter early in the game. You're wondering if this OU defense is as good as we all. So I think for me, now just hit on hit. I don't know, man. I mean, that the form of Reggie Powers' hit was perfect, but. Daniels, I would take Daniels just because I like what it encompassed.
I would take neither hit. Like as a
I wouldn't physically, personally.
Look, I am more of them. I like this debate because
hey, look, the truth.
Fantastic.
Predator, perfect comparison. Ultimate compliment for an athlete. yeah, dude. I mean, it's crazy how big he is.
Nobody
like how
ever
well
said
he
I
moves.
was built like that.
No, Yeah, I never got that compliment myself. Funny enough, it's probably due to lack of muscle and all that.
I got like water bug because I'm like 5'3"
Sure.
and all over the place.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyways,
Ole Miss, Florida's future head coach Lane Kiffin. All of them are coming to Norman, Oklahoma. I'll just read this. You have some research you did. I want to get to. I'll just read this little introduction. Oklahoma enters the matchup 6-1 overall, 2-1 in SEC play. We're ranked 11th in the coaches poll and number 13th in the AP poll. So right now the coaches poll is better. We're Oklahoma's second in the SEC conference in third down conversion percentage, averaging a conversion rate of just 25%, and ranks first in first down defense in both the conference and the nation, only allowing 82 first downs through 7 games. Now, I wish I had a comparison. I don't have one. So apparently that's the best in the country, though. So there we go. The Sooners have allowed only 132.6 yards per game through the air, ranking number 4 in the FBS and first in the SEC. Additionally, the program also ranks first in both the SEC and FBS in total defense, averaging 213 yards given up a game, which is just insane. Now, T, do you have some stats on players?
Yeah, Boomer129 said, what is the latest line for the old Miss game?
I about slipped and said.
I believe we are -4.5.
Are we 4.5 now?
Mm-hmm.
We got that. Wow.
When I checked today, when I was looking at my pick'ems, we were up to 4.5, but could change. Wow. So my stat, I just mostly have a lot of stats, if you will, because those are fun. And some names to be looking for. And of course, Trinidad Chambliss.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, two things I never missed on.
Dude.
Quarterbacks and head coaches. If you've ever seen me miss, it was probably AI. So don't bring it up.
So the first touchdown of the game was him evading a sack between 2 people, so sacks, if you will.
Yeah.
Then making another guy miss and then get in the end zone. Shifty. He has 1,550, we'll call it that, total yards right now. He has 8 touchdowns, 1 interception, so not prone to turning the ball over. Yeah. Hopefully we could change that. He has a 63% completion ratio for 9.3 yards per throw. He's only taken 5 sacks this year. I hope he takes 5 sacks in the first half against us. That would be fantastic. But again, he's shifty. He's got that extra speed that Chad talked about a lot. So he's going to be hard. He's going to be harder to get down than Sellers.
He's the first guy, and I've said this to T, is the first guy I've ever saw that does have like a Kyler Murray quickness in his, like when he runs, you're like, oh, the last time I saw that was when Kyler was playing football. He is extremely quick and fast. He's also small like Kyler.
He also has 323 rushing yards and 5 rushing touchdowns on the year. 4.6 yards per carry. So if you let him rush, he can easily get first downs himself every single time.
Yes. So. And I know someone brought it up earlier. He was the Division II national champion quarterback at Fair State last year. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about some film? Go watch what this dude was doing to Division II teams. My goodness gracious. Yeah.
Some names to look for on offensively. They have Daquan Wright. He is a tight end. He's number 8. He has 19 receptions, 3 touchdowns. Dejon Stribling. I want to say like Stripling for some reason. Mm-hmm. He's number 1. He has 20 receptions, 2 touchdowns, 300 yards. Keywan Lacey. He is a running back. He has 10 touchdowns. He averages 4.5 yards per carry.
Wow.
And, so it's pretty good.
Yeah.
We have Harrison Wallace III. He's number 2. He has 21 receptions, 400 yards, 2 touchdowns. Deuce Alexander's 22 receptions. So they tend to spread the ball. There's not like one single guy that they tend to go to. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have 4 guys with 20 receptions and 300, 400 yards.
Well, who's the one that caught the 75-yard tud last week?
That was Stripling.
Stribling? Okay.
Yeah. He caught it, broke a tackle, made somebody miss, and then just took off. And he's tall, so
well, yeah, that's
like
what
a gazelle.
That's like what I was thinking of with the Eli Bowen stuff. Like you think, especially if Gentry ain't able to go, which we've heard he could have gone in. We've heard, you hear several things, but I heard that he was trying. He was like telling Rufus Alexander he was okay, and was like, if you had to have him, maybe he could have played. But I think he'll be fine on Saturday.
Yeah. Another guy, but doesn't he just like? They just say his shoulder just
got a glass shoulder. Yeah, unfortunately. Okay. But I think he's fine.
Right.
It's for football.
Right. And again, like if we needed him that game to come back in, we would have, but we didn't need him.
Right.
I hate saying that.
We know
but
what
I
you
also
mean,
love saying it at the same time. Like it's not a personal offense to him.
Mm-hmm.
For the defensive side of the ball, they have Santarin Perkins. He's a linebacker. He has 18 solo tackles on the year, but he has 0 sacks. He has 10 total tackles against Georgia, 5 solo, and he's had 1 interception on the year. TJ, I wish I would have written better. Dottie,
Whoa.
he's 6, a linebacker. Sorry, I was in the work during this. He has 23 solo tackles on the year. He had 9 tackles against Georgia. Wydett Williams, he has 24 he has also 24 solo tackles on the year. He had 8 against Georgia.
TJ Banks? No, it's not it. Wait.
Is it?
Safety?
No, it's a linebacker. But so we have linebacker, safety, another safety who leads in tackles, and then a defensive tackle. So for me, when we mentioned earlier, which I guess linebackers are kind of like a middle ground, but it's not a lot of their like
Daughtery. Yeah. TJ Daughtery.
Daughtery. Okay, I was like Daughtery.
Yeah.
It's kind of more like their mid and second level guys that are getting the tackles.
Yeah.
So they're not getting a lot of tackles up front, with the exception of one dude, Xavier Harris.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, this is a good opportunity for our offensive line to move some people again, hopefully.
Yes.
And make the mid and second level guys.
Yep.
Am I allowed to say mid level? So it makes sense. In
Yeah.
my mind, it does. I didn't play football, so leave me alone.
It's fine. That works.
They have to be the ones to make the plays, which means you're getting yards per carry.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I thought that was interesting in the Georgia game, and I looked up all the possessions for Mississippi State because that game was going on during our post game, and it was just score.
Right.
And yes, it was, because in their these are their possessions of Ole Miss.
Ole Miss playing Georgia.
Touchdown. We get to the fourth quarter, punt. Then they lost on downs.
That's crazy. What was that? How many? 5 straight?
5 straight possessions, 5 straight touchdowns. Georgia did not get their first stop and cause them to punt until the fourth quarter.
God, Kirby found something.
He did, and what we saw too is what he found is, I mean, in that fourth quarter, Georgia outscored Ole Miss 17-0. I believe with yards, it was like 146-1.
That's wild.
In the fourth quarter. So definitely some film to look up in that fourth quarter to see what happened there. But this is an offense that can clearly score.
Yeah.
That can clearly score at will. That is very confident. So it's going to be a good test for our defense.
You know what I'd be interested in seeing? Like if anyone, I would never have time to do this kind of research, but if someone would ever do a stat or look at how defenses fared after they played either Brent Venables or Kirby Smart, someone who is who are known as like the top tier defensive minds, because I really think it also helped. Who did Auburn play the week after us? I can't remember, but I think they saw what we did to Cam Coleman when we bracketed him and you put a guy over the top, and Auburn did that as well. Oh, A&M, they played A&M, Texas A&M, because Cam Coleman had like 2 catches that game or something. But I think when teams see a really good defensive coordinator stop a player, like you're saying with Kirby in that fourth quarter. Brent's just going straight to that film and saying, all right, what do we do right? How did he go about doing this? And at the end of the day, and I know my dad is watching too, he would say something similar, and he'd be able to add more depth to it. But when you're facing really good rushing quarterbacks, the fundamentals are key. You never rush past the depth of the quarterback, because that means it can go underneath you, and you have to be sound in your rushing lanes. But I mean, if you can do that, you're going to do really well against really quick and fast quarterbacks. Now, he's athletic, he's very talented, he's going to escape a few times. I would want people to just see, though, when he chops his feet, it's unbelievable how fast and quick he is. It's like one of those just rare God-given abilities to be quick. So,
do you have any more notes on Ole Miss?
I don't think so. That's kind of just where I'm at on terms of. I think it's a game that one thing that Oklahoma has done well this year, except for the Texas game. I thought we should have won that. I'll give us a little bit of a buy in that John hadn't played in 3 weeks. Maybe it was a rest on the offense. The defense has answered the call. And even going back to last year, except for when they were put in crazy positions, they've answered the call, right? I can't remember. Like I was talking to another host of a show just a couple weeks back, but Brent Venables' defenses, for the most part, except for that first year when you're just in the portal trying to get players to fill a roster. In 2023, they were pretty solid. Last year, they were a good group. They were just put in terrible positions by their offense. But you look at even going into the Tennessee game, they were number 2 in defense and rush defense. They held Tennessee back last year to like 2.9 a carry. They held Alabama to under 3 yards a carry when they had just rushed for like 300 on LSU the week before. Brent Venables does right. Yeah, Brent Venables does a really good job of making you one-dimensional. Like he does not allow you to run the ball, and knock on wood. But they've been so good at it consistently. Like I don't feel I don't really believe in jinxes anyways. But I don't feel weird saying that. Like I'm putting unfair pressure on them.
Right.
And for me, if you can do that with a guy like Trinidad, and then you're giving him coverages that he hadn't seen yet, which is what Brent's known to do, I think you could have a good day defensively.
Right.
The offense, I think, is going to have to score. If there's a team that I think would press us to score more than 20, it'd be this one because of how dynamic they are offensively.
Right. And
when you have a quarterback that, and my dad can tell you, and Randy could probably tell you, when you have a quarterback that can run and move around like he can, it's almost a deal. It's almost it almost elevates or levels the playing field because he can do things that you just, even when you're sound, he's just as a good enough athlete to break plays open. So,
and the truth says it does worry him. Is like, do we have the offense to compete in shootouts? Here's the thing: I think we have a defense that keeps us from being in shootouts.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
Yeah, but assume
like
to
that.
Me,
like my definition of a shootout is what was happening in Georgia and Ole Miss at the beginning. I don't think that's ever really going to happen.
But if it does, do you think we have one to? I will say this. I don't know. I don't know if I could say 100% I do. I think I just have faith in John that he would be able to do it. If John goes out there knowing, hey, the defense isn't getting stops. I think some of the governor put on our offense is, dude, don't turn the ball over because our defense is so damn good. But if
I do think
need
when
to get 28
they
or
needed
so,
to answer the call, they have.
Right.
I mean, Auburn
they did
Michigan,
it. They did it. Yeah.
Texas, again, the abnormality of the game. However, when we really did need to score, we got down there and John got us to like the 5-yard line and they got called back for a hold.
Yeah.
So like we still got it done even though we didn't in the end, if that makes sense.
Right.
But I think we have the leadership to do so.
But I think the truth's point, that is the worry, I think, truth, is that do you have an offense to do it? Yep.
Fair.
Sorry, I think I interrupted you.
No, I was just going to be able to put the games in Zeno zones. People can pick along. People have asked us
to do that. Nice.
Say like, what games is he picking? So I'm going to put the first ones up here in the comments, or maybe all of them. Okay, hold on.
Cool. I can do that. If you're watching, by the way, throw a pick these games along with Zeno, and then throw a like if you can. It really does help the channel spread a little bit, which is nice. Then I'll go here.
Sorry, the last ones weren't showing up on my comments.
While she's waiting for that, I want to tell you about a little war I'm fighting with the elites at ESPN. College pick'ems. You talk about keeping a man down. I pick TCU to win. Of course, they go into rain delay because apparently, I don't know, Mother Nature decided to just focus on that area of the country for a while. They had to suspend the game. They bring it back. I pick correctly, of course. And it was my 10. I don't know what it was really. I'm just going to say 10. I'm going to say 10 because it helps my point.
It was not your 10.
We don't remember. It was a high point game, we think. We're not sure. It's giving me, I can tell you what it certainly was, higher than 0 points, which is what I'm getting right now. So I go to the internet and I think I can't be the only one. There's a whole Reddit community. We've started a movement of like 400 people. We're emailing, we're going to support chats. We're getting it fixed because it's holding me back from maybe having one of the greatest comebacks in Pick'em's history.
Doubt it.
Okay. Now, am I just astronomically far behind? We're not worried about that right now.
Yeah.
It's about getting what you earned in life
right now.
Well, my brother-in-law, one of my best friends in the world,
and I'm in third.
Yeah, she's in third.
Yeah.
Well, I don't tell him what I'd be if I got. I need to go back and look at my weeks. Maybe I'm not getting my points.
At best, stop.
Maybe I'm not getting all my points.
At best, you would probably be.
I think I'd be like 21st. 18. If I got my 10, I think
I'd
be
18. There you go.
Yeah. Listen. The problem is I like picking upsets. I cannot talk today.
What?
That was almost a terrible thing. Upsets.
That did not sound good.
What did it say? Oh gosh, it didn't.
Oh.
I like picking upsets early in the year and they just never work out. Back when USC had Caleb Williams and Lincoln, I picked against them every week and they always lost. It was so annoying.
Anyways, but yeah, I'm in third and I got my points because TCU was my 8-point game. So
that's the thing too. It's not like it's literally just happening to me.
Like literally everybody else at our watch party that plays in our Pick'ems got his points. So like I get his frustration. However, it's not gonna make it. He's not winning.
Well, not if I don't get my 10 points that I'm missing. Certainly
He's not winning even with that.
All right. I can tell you who is winning.
With before we play this.
Yeah.
If you are over watching on X, please just follow the link. 2 seconds. Jump over here. Get a like. Give us a like on our video. It would really, really, really help us. It would be so kind of you. Just take 5 seconds to click the link button and like the video on YouTube for us because it goes a long way. For those of you that are here and in the comments, I'm going to give you 3 seconds to go ahead and click that like video. If you don't, I will find you Liam Neeson style. I won't say the rest because I'll get banned. But go ahead and do it. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. And so without further ado,
this is very true. Boomer Center, very true.
The real star
That's my
of our show.
is Zeno, and who, by the way, has picked winners this year. Been impressive. Let me make sure that I'm sharing sound. I don't know if I am. I'm going to stop sharing. I don't think I did that right. Let me go here.
In the meantime, you can go ahead and follow us on social media at Chad P. Smith _ at Tyranny _ Kristen. You can follow the Voice of College Football at the VOCFB and at Oklahoma at the Voice of College Football at Oklahoma VOCFB. You can also listen to us on all your major streaming platforms. If you don't like seeing our faces, I get it. Sometimes we're rough looking. You can always just listen to our voices in Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcast, Amazon Podcast. I believe all the things. You can also follow along to the Voice of College Football on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all the things. So
boom. All right, Zeno Zone. Dude, that was awesome. I can't believe he really thought about it. Apparently, he's expecting a pretty good game.
I hope he's wrong in our benefit.
Saturday. Yeah, I do too.
Let's get to some final comments here. No, I told Chad before the video started because I think he was maybe taking a nap when I did the video. I said Zeno was like very hesitant with picks this week. Like he kind of was like tippy toeing over. So I don't know. But the weather could be a problem for Mississippi Saturday.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to rain.
Yeah,
it's supposed to rain. 55% chance.
William John says 2 of my favorite people.
Hey, thanks, man.
You mean us. Thank you. Go up a little bit more.
Oh, sorry.
Seeing other people.
Tyler
here. What's up, Tyler? He's like, I'm late. I'll have to rewatch. Appreciate your help,
it, man.
Dude.
Hey, Truth. I just want to say I appreciate you being active in the chat, dude. That's actually really helpful to us to be able to react to stuff.
We love seeing.
Same with
when people are not in your chat, makes it real awkward.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to have you guys, and also we feel like I don't even know if we really met many of you, but
Stacy gets it. What's greater than 0? 3 point. Even if it's a 3 point, it's game, Stacy. It's about the principle. I picked right. I deserve my points. Okay. Yeah. No, you know what? I am a little upset. I gotta go, dude. I'm writing. I might get a letter to a senator out.
I'm gonna have a BF.
Literally.
Oh goodness. And Boomer 1982 Boomer shared our video. Thank you. That means a lot to us. Just share the video. Yeah. And if you're new here and you haven't subscribed to us, go ahead and click the subscribe button. You can click the notification so you know when videos are coming up. We're kind of late with putting our links on. It's not us. It is us, but it's not our fault. It is our fault. But
you know what we're
Josh
saying.
is good about doing everything in advance. So, but when it'll keep you updated when we're going to post videos. Again, we're here every Monday and we're here every post game. So there you go. Ta-da.
Also, just couple quick comments here. I want to go to this one because it says I made a good point. Great point, Chad. Versus Arch Manning, our defensive ends went past QB depth. Much better versus South Carolina. I agree. And again, I'm just repeating stuff I've heard my dad say and Teddy say also, which, you know, when you kind of realize what they're saying, it makes total sense. But Randy also comments again, mobile QBs require a spy. Take one guy out of the pass rush or pass drop. So again, just stress your defense even more whenever you have a guy that can hurt you like that. I think this goes back to calls and whatnot. My dad, this is my dad, Coach Smith, by the way. Something coaches have a feel for while the game is being played. What to call? Your plan can change because they are doing something different. You have to be able to adjust on your calls, right? And for Lane, it's like I think he was trying to say that he was kind of weirded out with or not weirded out, but just didn't understand why Hugh Freeze wasn't trying to change some of his calls during the game. But you saw on that long touchdown run. Lane Kiffin's sitting there jumping up and down to Trinidad Chambliss, telling him, "Hey, I see something here. Throw it to this guy. Throw it to this guy." They're playing man. It's like they're all trying to give signs and give little tips where they can. I think that is just commonplace, and it's what. By the way, I'll just say it's what smart coaches do. My dad can tell you he was at OU doing this. I don't say that was his only job. He was a coach too, but that was one of his deals. It's like, hey, if you can get any hit on a sign or whatever, let us know. That's what every program does. So. Mm-hmm.
I'm laughing because Corrections 101 said, "Wow, Zeno, that was close."
Dude, that was hilarious. That was hilarious.
And then Stacy, "Zeno, don't let us down." 1982 Boomer Sooner says, "Agree with Zeno because I don't know if OU can win a shootout." Tyler says, "Just get one stop and y'all beat Ole Miss probably. Defense is bad."
Yeah, I will say one thing that I'm excited about is this next game, and then I think Alabama, I think Texas and Michigan, in terms of like body type and what they provide. Well, Auburn too was good, but I think Texas and Michigan were such good games to play for prep reasons that like you're going to go up against these other defensive lines, and I think our O line's going to say, "Man, I can handle this. Like we can get push here," and it just helps them with confidence. So
I do want to say I can see y'all's eyeballs, and it says there's 440 people watching this right now from all of our platforms. Yet we only have 18 likes on our video.
Hey, yeah.
So
throw a couple in there if you can.
If a fourth of you could just jump over onto YouTube, literally just click the link that you're watching from, because I'm sure you're watching from X/Twitter. Just click it and just like it. It would just mean the world to us. It won't take any time out of your day. But that would really mean the most to us, because that really helps us and helps get our videos out there. And it's fun. We want to keep building this community with you guys, because it's fun. I enjoy talking to you guys every Monday in post game.
It's cool meeting people in like real life too.
Yeah, we've had people come up to us at games like, "Hey, like I watch your podcast, I follow you guys on Twitter," and it's really cool. I really do like it. Mm-hmm. Some last minute comments. Love the Zeno Zone, great pod, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Thank you, Randy. Oopsies. Does Chad sing the song during the Zeno? Pigs is the original Chad Smith composed song.
Sing what song? You want me to sing?
To be honest, like this song does get stuck in his head a lot.
Like, it really does all the time.
Almost every Monday we'll go on a walk after, and he's like, I will say, if there's any Ole Miss people watching this, I was very disappointed last year to find out Hotty Toddy doesn't really mean anything and doesn't really have a historical significance. Like there's not really a why it came about. It's more so it just kind of happened one day and we ran with it. And I don't know why that was so disappointing. I guess because I like learning history or traditions of like not even just SEC schools, but all schools. Like, so when they were like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, okay. They're like, well, what does Boomer Sooner mean? We're like, well, it actually goes back to the land rush. And they're like, oh.
Yeah. So, it's not the greatest meaning, but
yeah. And it just, I don't know. It's just kind of weird for me. So if anybody knows the actual origins, I've Googled it, but it even seems like there's kind of some nobody really knows type. So I don't know if anybody else knows. We did find out it's a drink of sorts, so I guess that's fine. But anyways,
also if you're in Norman, SEC Nation will be on site for the second time this year. They have the 10 o'clock show, then a 12 o'clock show. Tim Tebow, Jordan Rogers. Tim Tebow, good athlete too back in the day.
Good looking.
Jordan Rogers will be there. Paul Feinbaum, a lot of guys will. But I think that's, unless you have any last minute thoughts on the game or Zeno Zone or anything?
Nope.
Awesome. Well, it's been an hour and 8 minutes and 43 seconds. We appreciate all y'all watching. It's also, another week. We always say that, it's a blessing you guys chose to spend some time with us on your Monday. Hopefully when we turn the game on, Baker and them are winning. We don't know that right now. But if you have anything that you guys suggest topics-wise, throw them in the comments. Let us know. We're always looking for ideas kind of to have on the show. It helps us out. Anything else?
No, somebody just asked a question for us. Do you guys, Boomer129 said, do you guys do any lives or plan to? We did the one at the Woodworks Distillery for the Michigan game. I don't know if we have any more.
We'll look into planning one. We want to plan another one. Do one that people can come like. I'm wondering like where it would be best, like in more areas so people in Norman can drive up, or like where most people watch. I don't know. Like,
I don't know. We've
where
been trying to. It's kind of hard finding a place too because we're not big, obviously. Like.
Yeah, it's easier if you're like the Gabe and Teddy, like because they want, or if you're like if you're like an actual radio station, because then people, but you know,
so it gets tricky for us. We do a lot. Our live post game, it is live, but
yeah, it gets
nowhere
good,
cool that y'all could join us. Meet Zeno. You don't want to meet.
No, Zeno just
if he was in public, he would be embarrassing.
He just anxiety and just everything. He makes everyone just feel tense.
You would just hear.
We tried to take him to that night market down in the city once, and it was just like I had to take him back to the car.
It was bad.
And I was like, I can't leave. Dude, it was brutal.
Yeah. But anyways, thank you for spending your Monday with us. It really does mean a lot to us. Go ahead and like the video. For all 470 of you on here, please come over and like the video. Leave us a comment. Leave us a comment when we're off of this thing. Just join us again on Monday. Mm-hmm. Join us on the post game as well. Hopefully we're happy. Most of them have been happy this year, so we hope we continue to be happy. Follow us on all the platforms. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. Become a member because we will prioritize your comments among other benefits there. And Boomer.
You guys rock. Boomer.
I want to meet Zeno.